Mastadon Creates podcast, episode 16. I'm Tori, or Victoria, the person behind the crazy, and it is February, I looked down at my phone like I didn't just check this, February 15th. It's the day after Valentine's Day, a lovely Saturday. You can find me in several places. You can find me on Instagram as Victoria Schwunky. You can find me on Ravelry as lilwestie, L-A-L-Westie. Of course, the blog, fullymastodon.wordpress.com, as well as YouTube, obviously, and then I am on Facebook. But if you're looking for more content and a little more fun, go to Instagram, because I am trying to get into stories there as well. So there you go. Another fine podcast. I was really hoping to do this last weekend, but clearly that didn't happen, so here you go. I am back with another episode, and we're going to go right into it. However, I really wanted to have an FO for you today, but alas, I do not have any FOs, so we're going to move right along to whips, and we're going to move right along to the culprit that was supposed to be an FO this week. My socks. There's absolutely no reason, well, there's a reason I didn't finish them, and like I said, we'll get into that later, but there's absolutely no reason these shouldn't have been finished, because as you can see, one sock tube complete. This is Oink Pigments, their Disco Base in the Public Service Announcement colorway. And yeah, I have one tube. I have two tubes and almost a completed heel. I literally just have to finish this heel. I don't have any rows left on this heel. Hopefully if it doesn't focus on my head. I don't have that much left on this heel, then I have the other heel, and then these are done. Yeah, just weaving the ends from the heels, and then they're done. So I was really hoping to have them done for this episode. I did not get them done, but I did the bulk of my knitting on the second sock. I think I was this far on when the Super Bowl started a couple weekends ago, and during the length of the Super Bowl I knit all the way to like 2 rows short. I didn't quite finish the sock. I had like 2 rows of ribbing left in the bind off, and then I was done with the tube. So during the Super Bowl I was knitting and playing with my friends the boy and keeping myself busy, because I'm not that into football, but everybody else was into it, so I was glad I had this. Again, I was really hoping to finish this, but alas, I got sick last weekend, so it didn't happen. But I'm almost done with these, so these would be a really easy thing to finish this weekend and have an instant finished object for next episode. So yeah, my Oink Pigment socks. I'm knitting them on US 1s, 2.25 millimeter, and they're quite fun. They come with me to work every day. I haven't been knitting on them a whole lot at work, but on my breaks and stuff is when I have time. But in my snazzy handmade project bag, and moving right along, almost done with those. But that is my first work in progress. Unfortunately, all of the work in progress is all of my works in progress. What's the plural? I don't know. You have seen already, so you know, not getting super far. The next project that I have on the needles, which you've seen many a time, is my Christmas Eve cast on. Again, just a basic hat. I don't think I've put on a single row since we last spoke of this project, and I really should, because it's supposed to be cold. It's supposed to be below 0 this week, and I could really use a nice hat, and this would be a really quick thing to knit up and have and be able to use right away. So, and where we live, just outside of Madison, Wisconsin, I feel like winter is not going to hold on that much longer, even considering what one of the customers I work with said the other day. She was like, yeah, winter's basically over. And I'm sitting there going, this isn't the UP anymore. That might actually be true. So we will see. I'm hoping to get these done. This is knit out of a Homespun House DK, their Dale DK, I believe. Let me check my notes. The Dale DK in Holly Jolly Christmas color. It's being knit on US 4s, I believe, right now. Yeah, US 4, 3.5 millimeter needles. I'm going to bump it up to a 5 or a 6 when I finish the brim. And just hanging out in my, working on my PhD projects half done. So that is my second work in progress. hopefully I will have, again, another simple one where I could just work on it and knock it out of my work in progress and do something else. So I really want to finish that up. I mean, it's the simplest thing and I haven't finished it. It's time to finish it. Next work in progress, moving right along, because now we're actually, well, I have a little bit to show you on this. This is my Hedgehog Mittens. These are the Hedgehog Mitts by Spilly Jane. I have been meaning to knit these forever and ever. I think I talked about this last episode. I've had the yarn for years. This is some of the first Knit Picks yarn I purchased. And I just need to knit these. So I finally cast them on. I got through the brim and I started the color work, and I don't have my color work, like I don't have my rhythm with color work yet. So you can see I did like 2 rows of the color and that's about it. You can't even really see it right now. So I really need to get into this because there's hardly any of this done, and I want these mittens. They're so cute. It's knit on Knit Picks palette in the Bison color, the Celadon Heather, I believe, and the Oyster Heather. And then this is being knit on US 1 2.25 millimeters as well. Yep. So I need to get more knitting done on this because it's cute, and I mean, it's got a little midnight moon. See if I can keep it from moving so you can see it for 2 seconds. Little black kitty cats. So I need to do this. This needs to be done. So basically the body of it is going to be green. Hedgehogs are going to be their hedgehog color, and then the faces will be duplicate stitched on later with this lovely cream color. I think I'm going to double check everything here. Apologize if you hear any noise in the background. Let's see here. Just like spacing. What is my next thing? My last work in progress is definitely my biggest, the one I'm most excited about. And as I went on a long spiel last episode, I've wanted to knit the Bigger on the Inside shawl by Kate Atherley for forever. And I just hadn't done it yet. And part of the reason was I didn't like how the shawl was laid out. I didn't like how the main body of the shawl, before you got to the edging with the TARDIS, it's a Doctor Who shawl, with the TARDIS in the lace charts. I didn't like that part. And many people took another one of Kate Atherley's free patterns called Wave Deck and knit the main body of the chart first, and then knit the Bigger on the Inside, the rest of the shawl with the TARDIS charts around the body of the Wave Deck. And that was amazing. So that's what I'm doing. So basically you start by knitting Wave Deck as written, and I don't know if you'll be able to see kind of what it's looking like right now. It's hard to see. It's a half pie shawl, which means that it would become a circular shawl if you had actually knit it all the way around. So it's a half circle. Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to see any detail, but maybe you can see it there. Like, it's really beautiful. And the lace charts are very simple. They make sense. So even though you're following the chart, like, I'm not one to memorize a chart. I'm horrible at memorizing charts and stitch patterns and everything. I don't know why, I just can't, or haven't learned how properly. But this is intuitive, so you can kind of see where you left off and pick up. I'm in the third and final lace chart, I believe. And then once I finish that, I do a few things, and then I move on to the Bigger on the Inside shawl. So this is probably what I've made the most progress on since we last spoke, because I just really got into the lace. Other than the socks, I've really got into the lace chart on this. This is being knit out of Knit Picks tonal, what's the color? Deep Waters, I believe. Yeah, Deep Waters tonal. It's a beautiful tonal blue with purples and different blues. It's really nice. And it's knit on US 6 4.0 millimeter needles. Really pretty. Got a very contrasting stitch marker. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's a little bird on here. So that is my last work in progress. Not a whole lot going on in the knitting world these last couple weeks other than my socks, unfortunately. We'll just go into here. I got sick last weekend with food poisoning, so all of my knitting time and plans that I had to originally knit and film a bi-weekly podcast, I was finally going to jump in and do it because I had so much progress to show on here specifically, and I thought I would be doing a lot more that weekend, that I was just like, yeah, I'll do it bi-weekly, and then everything went out the window. I didn't knit. We actually went to Madison for the morning, which I'll talk more about later, but we had to leave early because I was not in any shape to do anything at all. And I didn't realize that until we were in Madison, so yep, I lost quite a bit of knitting time, but after this week, I'm feeling the knitting mojo coming back, so hopefully this weekend I can get some knitting done around cleaning and doing all of the catching up from things I didn't do last weekend. So that's my last work in progress. Not a whole lot going on with the knitting. Definitely want to remedy that because the last episode was full of knitting and all these things I'd finished, and I'm just like, and I haven't done a whole lot. So that is that. Next, we'll move right on though. I actually have stash enhancements this time around. Super excited about that. Slightly bittersweet though, because I had discovered more recently, I have a backlog of YouTube videos that I watch. I just save everything that I'm interested in a watch later playlist, and then I just play it from the oldest video, and I just let it run on TV if I'm, watching something and knitting. And I actually had finally mostly caught up with my playlist because I had been unsubscribing from a bunch of stuff because it was stuff I just didn't care about anymore. And in doing so, I actually found some new podcasts, and one of them was the Honeybee Knits podcast. And she was talking about dyeing yarn, and I went out and went to check out her shop and realized that she is closing her shop. So I quick went and snagged some yarn and fiber from the shop before the sale ended, and she completely stopped selling yarn because I wanted to get some of her beautiful yarn and fiber. So I did just that. And I bought a few things. I got a skein of yarn. It's the Honeybee Knits yarn in the sparkle base. It's merino, nylon, and stellina, and it's the Miami Sunset UV reactive color bag, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's so bright. Like, I don't know if I want to knit this into socks or if I want this should probably be on a shawl somewhere so that you can see all the bright colors and pops. I feel like that's what it needs to become. Because, I mean, look at that. Look at all that color. It's so pretty. Then I also got 2 bumps of fiber. 2 of her, I'm a Good Witch, I believe it is. I had to actually look this up because she didn't have these tagged. But it's merino fiber. And I got 2 of them because I need to get spinning again. And I find often that I'm finding that I really like the huge spinning projects I've done. The only one I've actually completed, and maybe this is why I really want to do more, is the shawl, the yarn I spun for my mom to knit a shawl, and I knit the Vernal Equinox shawl. I have it over Instagram, I have it everywhere. I gave it to her last Christmas, and she wore it, and then now I wear it, just kind of like a hug and a memory. But I am so proud of that shawl. She was beyond proud of that shawl. And I spun all the yarn for it, and of course, because it was such a big project, I needed more than 1 bump of fiber to do it, or 1 thing of fiber. So I decided when I saw that there were a couple of these that I'd snag them both because I love this color so much. This could be something absolutely stunning. This could be a shawl, and there would be enough fiber for me to actually do something larger with it. So I got 2 of those. Super excited. 100% my colors, if you can't already tell. And then finally, I didn't realize this until after I placed the order and I got the package, but because she was closing her shop, she was including a little project bag in with the orders that if you placed an order, and I got this one. It's absolutely stunning, and at first I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. I didn't even realize there's a unicorn in here. Like, obviously, she matched the bag to the colors of the stuff that I purchased, and this is just spot on. I love this. I cannot wait to use it. I think I'm going to put socks in here, and when I knit socks with this, I'm going to put socks in here. It's got snap closure. It's a flat base, so it'll stand up on its own, and It's so pretty. It's absolutely stunning. I didn't realize I was going to get it. Thank you for including this in my package. I love it. I'm so excited. So those are my fiber and fibery yarn related stash enhancements. I have one other thing that I'm including in stash enhancements because I'm so excited about this. I got the official Harry Potter Knitting Magic book by Tanis Gray. It's so beautiful. Last weekend we went to Madison. It was like a pre-Valentine's Day like shopping trip. I didn't, partially because I needed a bedside table. We just have these little basically end tables that my dad had made years ago where the legs just screw into like a flat tabletop, and we were using, there's nothing wrong with them. I don't really care. We don't need anything fancy, but Midnight, our lovely beautiful kitty cat, decided that that's the perfect place to go attack cords and everything that I have at my bedside table. So we actually ventured out to Madison, went to a Target, got a bedside table, and then we went to the bookstore and a few other places. But I was originally going to get this on Amazon, and it was like $2 more to just buy it in store, and I couldn't leave without it. So we were at a Barnes & Noble and I purchased it. Guys, if you love Harry Potter and you even remotely think you would knit one thing out of here, you have to. You have to get this. I don't think you'll be able to see everything in here, but that's part of the magic. Let's see here. Let me find one thing quick that I feel like I share. I'll just share the picture because there was a sweater I basically said I was going to knit. Anywho, I was talking about the sweater I wanted to knit, which is this beautiful sweater. So beautiful, such amazing color work and just amazing. You need to knit this. But the best thing about this book is the sizing. The sizing on every sweater goes from an extra small to a 6XL. Normally I would be towards the top of the I can't even speak. I'm so excited. I'd be at the top edge, if not above the largest size in a pattern book, like a physical book. And in this book, I was like, that sweater, I need to knit it. And I hadn't even looked at the sizing because it normally makes me upset because it's like, oh, I'd have to do some solid math to knit that. And I saw 6XL. I went, what? Because I just looked at the largest size. I'm like, well, that'll probably be me. It's not. So this is fantastic. Not only is this book amazing, it's got like little tidbits from the movies and like art, like for example here, just some art from the movies and concept art and little tidbits. It's size inclusive, just, it's amazing. And actually, I'll be honest, one of the things that really got me was this. Like, I want this. I don't care about kids who want this. I want this in my room. It's so cute. So yeah, if you get a chance and you like Harry Potter, by all means pick this up. It's a no-brainer. It's a beautifully designed book, beautiful to look at, fun to read. I read through this already, like all the descriptions, all the little extras. I love it. So get a copy of this. It's amazing. That is actually it for my knitting acquisitions, my stash enhancement and the like. So we'll move on to non-knit loves, and there's actually quite a few this week. And partially that is because we did go to Madison, and partially that's because the week before my friend and I had gone into town. We went to an Indian restaurant for dinner and we had a girls' night, and then she's like, have you gone to World Market? Well, no, it's a remotely like a bigger store chain. I've probably never been to it. Or a nicer one. And so we went. And I'm just going to pull this stuff over here. Not all of this is from World Market, but I got a few things. And then, as I was saying about last weekend, we did go to Madison. We stopped at Target. Went to the mall so we could go to the bookstore. We didn't go that many places. I think we went to the mall. We went to GameStop for my husband. And we went to a Dollar Tree because I wanted to go to Dollar Tree. But otherwise, we didn't really stop at a whole lot of places. We got lunch and then we headed home. But without further ado, here's some of the stuff that I had to paint. At World Market, oh, there's fur in here already. I haven't used this yet. At World Market, they just have all kinds of cute little trinkets and everything, and they had so much stuff related to tea brewing, and their mugs are adorable. And we started out in the store, and I saw this mug, and I was like, if I don't see anything else, I'm going to get this. And I saw some other things, but they had it on the other side of the store by the mugs too, and I had to get it. And it says, meow. It's so cute. I'm trying to hide behind it so it focuses. And then on the inside, it's got a Siamese cat. Can you see that? It's so cute. It's absolutely so cute. I love it. And I understand Midnight is not a Siamese cat, but I've always had a soft spot for Siamese cats. If you've ever seen Lady and the Tramp, they are total jerks in the movie, those Siamese cats. But I loved the song. So I've always just kind of had a soft spot for Siamese cats because of that. Which is absolutely horrible because those cats are evil. But yeah, I got this, which is absolutely cute. And then we'll just keep going down the tea brewing line. I've had a little tray to put a tea bag in on my Amazon list forever. And it looked pretty similar to this. It was definitely 3 times the cost of this guy. And it was actually, last time I checked, it wasn't even available anymore. And I saw this at World Market for $3, and I was just like, sold. It's even actually a little cuter than the one I found on Amazon, so I was really excited because I always want a place to put my tea bag in case I do want to use it again, especially if it's just a black tea bag. So I got one of those. Cat theme, you know, crazy cat lady now. Never used to be a super crazy cat lady. I was a crazy dog lady, and now I'm just a crazy cat and dog lady, in case you're wondering. Not that it matters. Then finally in the tea brewing line, they had, I haven't even opened this up yet. I won't do that now. But they had like the little steeper animals that you can get. They didn't have the dinosaur, but they had, look at him. I think, what does he say? Oh no, I think the company name is Fred. Yeah, the company name is Fred. But I feel like I need to call this Fred now anyway. Because there's a long running joke between myself and my husband about Fred too. But, I mean, you can see on the back, like he holds onto the edge of the teacup, and he's a steeper. I've always wanted one of these. I kind of wanted one of the dinosaurs, but the friend I was with actually has one of those, and she said it doesn't stay together super well. So I'm going to try this one and see how I like it, because it's so cute. So that was the tea stuff I got. Oh, I also wanted to share this because I technically could go to a Trader Joe's. I believe there is one in Madison or Sun Prairie. One location or the other. I don't remember. I mix all the stores I Googled because I realized, wait, I live in an area where they have stores. I could go to one. But I kind of want to go to one at some point just to see what it was. But at World Market, they had a bagel seasoning, and my friend and I both got one of these because if you've seen, I've seen people use the everything but the bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's, and I was actually to the point where I wanted to make my own, and then this wasn't that expensive. I don't remember how much this was, but it wasn't bad, so I bought it to try. It's the everything seasoning for bagels and more. I'm excited. Then, moving into another mug because I have a problem, and Dollar Tree knows I have a problem. My husband got me this. I'm going to bring this one to work because it's hilarious, and I need a mug at work at my desk, and we'll actually get into that a little bit more later, but it's really cute, so can't touch this. And I know, guys, I'm just sharing all kinds of stuff, but if you have a Dollar Tree nearby and you're in the market for some even just like needle cases or pencil cases, these are some metal pencil cases that I found. Oops. Oh no. And I think I actually broke this one somehow. I'll be fixing that later. I don't even know how I did that. We'll open this one for now. But it's they're little metal pencil cases. And they're like the perfect size. They'd be the perfect size for, they're both doing it now, for like DPNs or something like that. So this one has little doggies on it. And this one's just like a plain design. But I went down the rabbit hole. Now I want to fix this, and I know you guys don't want to watch me fix this, so I'm going to set these aside. But I went down the rabbit hole of Dollar Tree. We originally wanted to go there because, I don't know if you're aware, but they have lots of baskets. And they're worlds cheaper than like a Hobby Lobby or a Walmart. So I wanted to see if they had some because I needed to do some organizing. So I got that stack. And then these, if you guys have a Dollar Tree, just a pro tip. I have placards in there, sorry guys. These buckets are the absolute best. They're like flexible. They're the best for blocking shawls and stuff. So by all means, check these out. They're amazing for blocking shawls, like to soaking them before you block them. This, like, if you've seen most of my blocking pictures, if I take a shot of them in the soak, they're in one of these. So I actually got another one because they had them. Because I also use it, we have a portable washer and it's easier to just fill it from the top than hook it up to a sink. So I just use one of those to fill it. So when they had them, I got another one. And then these, ignore the receipt and the placards inside. But these are also super handy for similar things. So I got another one of those because they're amazing. But I was getting to this. What I really wanted to get to is I got one other book and I'm super excited about it. I've got so many other books to read and I just need to get through them. But I've read other books by this author, N.K. Jemisin. She has another series and I don't remember what it's called at the moment. But I didn't realize she had written more books. So I picked this one up. It's the 5th season. Every age must come to an end. And I don't know, it looks interesting. I'm hoping it's good. I do remember with the first book by this author, I'm pretty sure it was, maybe it wasn't this book. Maybe it was a different one. Because I read a lot of books with a similar theme. But if it was this author, I'm starting to think it wasn't. The first book wasn't the best quality, writing quality. But then as the books progressed, they got better. So she got considerably better in her writing quality. And now that I think about it, that probably wasn't this author. It might have been, I think it's the Farsala trilogy is maybe what it's called. I still have them because they're good books. Just the first book was actually the language used. Not as in it was bad language, it's just the way they used the English language wasn't the best. The writing quality wasn't the best, but I don't think it was this author now that I think about it. But I'm excited to read that. That is all of the stuffs that I have. The 8,462 things that came into this house this weekend. And a basket. Because of Target. And my bedside table. Because Target. But that's been really nice. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, like I said, we had the Super Bowl 2 weekends ago. We went to a friend's house. Had like a little Super Bowl party. I did a bunch of knitting. So that was fun. And then this last weekend we went to Madison, found out I was sick, came home because food poisoning sucks. And yeah, I spent the weekend doing nothing. So now this week I've just been trying to nurse myself back into eating regular foods because I was just afraid to for the longest time. And so I wasn't doing a whole lot. But this weekend, obviously I'm back with all kinds of stuff to share. And hopefully I really want to get into this bi-weekly podcast. I knew I had to podcast today because next weekend we're going to visit some family in the Eagle Rivers. But yeah, so let me know if you want to see bi-weekly podcasts because I really want to get into that. I'm very interested in doing that. I'm trying to think, there was something else I was going to share. Oh yes, the last thing I wanted to share, just because I'm excited about it, not that it really matters to anyone else, but the place that I'm working at, I was actually hired through a temp agency, and a lot of the places down here, in order to get into a lot of companies, you have to go through a temp agency first. And in the interview process, when I was hired there, they basically said, you know, I had to go through 3 interviews and a job shadow to get this job. They have so many interviews because they want to make sure that the person they hire is the person they keep. And so it was basically a done deal as long as I performed as well as they hoped that I would get hired on. But, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm going, I don't know, like, am I going to get truly fully hired on, or are they just going to be at the end of my temp, just be like, you're done. Well, they've been training me on more and more stuff, and as of Monday, I'm officially their employee, so yay! So I felt it was important that I actually like bring a mug to work now. I've been bringing more stuff to put at my desk because I'm like, it's becoming kind of obvious that they're keeping me, but at the back of my mind I'm like, but they still could. Obviously any job, they still can say bye at any second. But for now, they are hiring me on officially, so I am bringing the mug with me to work. So that was really good news. Monday I'm officially their employee, not just a temp. So I'm excited there. Other than that, it's been snowy and cold, and it's hilarious because everybody that lives down here is like, this is horrible. I'm just thinking, this is normal. This is what we call winter, friends. But yeah, I'm just trying to think. I'm so scattered at the end of this episode today. That means it's time to cut it off. Hopefully I will see you in 2 weeks' time. If not, I will see you next month with another podcast. Once again, thanks for sticking it out with me for this entire episode. This has been a long one and a rambly one. You can always find me on Instagram. Like I said, I've been trying to do Instagram stories a little bit more. I kind of go in spurts, mostly on the weekends, because weekdays, guys, I'm a boring person. I work the equivalent of a 9-to-5 job, either 8 to 5. And yeah, I go to work, I come home. I'm kind of boring. But on the weekends, I try to get done as much as I would love to do. So follow me there. I am lilwestie, Lilwestie on Ravelry. You can find me on the blog, mastadon.wordpress.com. Again, I've kind of admitted that's kind of dying off short of for show notes lately. I'm just trying to figure out where I actually want to put my effort. So for now, that's more of a show note location than an actual blog. And you can find me on YouTube, obviously, and on Facebook to a certain extent, but for the most part, like I said, I'm on Instagram. So with that, thank you for joining me this lovely month, and I hope to see you next month in another episode. Bye!